Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, all of the audience. Every person wants to be healthy in many ways. We need to keep our health as good as possible. Remembering that we're still in pandemic COVID-19 era, it's necessary to implement the health protocols as the government has instructed. Until now, the COVID-19 virus is still deadly because the vaccine has not been found. On October 20, 2020, Indonesia was confirmed with 40.6 million cases and standing number 19 in the world. Knowing the fact that Indonesia is still in dangerous situation, it's necessary to implement the health protocols and keep stay at home as long as we can do. The government must ensure the health of its citizens by not opening indoor, also crowded public places like cinemas due to economic aspect. Today, I will inform you about the disadvantage of reopening cinemas during pandemic era. To start with, I will explain why cinemas are vulnerable to becoming new clusters of COVID-19. After that, I will explain how it can highly trigger the COVID-19's transmission. And finally, I will summarize my presentation. My first argument why cinemas are vulnerable to becoming new clusters of COVID-19 is because the level of public awareness about the dangers of COVID-19 is still low. The reason of my statement is that the health protocols are not necessarily implemented by the society. Based on data from Pikiran Rakyat Cirebon News, from September 14 until October 11, 2020, the National Police recorded 5.7 offenses that have been committed throughout Indonesia. Also, from my personal experience, I often meet people who don't wash their hands properly according to the 6 WHO steps: wearing masks and social distancing. We know those are the preventive ways that must be taken anywhere at any time. Thus, it will increase the case of COVID-19 in Indonesia, and that's why reopening cinemas during pandemic era should be cancelled. Secondly, it can highly trigger the COVID-19's transmission. I say that because the COVID-19 virus can spread easily from the infected person to another, especially when they talk, cough, laugh, and sneeze, which are caused by aerosols. Moreover, we can't distinguish the asymptomatic ones because they don't indicate any symptoms. Based on the opinion from Chief Quality Officer and Chief of Infectious Disease at the University of Maryland, Fahim Yunus, he appealed to Indonesians not to go to the cinemas at this time. His reasons are: the COVID-19 virus can spread out in the air, especially in closed spaces. Social distancing is difficult to be implemented in the cinema because there will be a risk of people breaking it. The ventilation inside the cinema is very poor, and it will take more than 3 hours to watch a movie, so the potential of the transmission will be high. Thus, it will be a very dangerous exposure to the people. In conclusion, reopening cinema during pandemic era have more disadvantage than the advantage itself. It's because some people are still neglect to the dangers of COVID-19. Besides, the virus transmission could be everywhere and going to be harmful. Therefore, people need to keep stay at home and social distancing. But don't worry, we can still watch our favorite movies from our home, aren't we? If the cinemas will be reopening soon, and you have a plan to go there, think wisely. Are you ready to accept the consequences of the very dangerous COVID-19? Well, that's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.